What's going on, you guys? Theo here with the big review, back yet again with another King of Fighters All-Star video, and today we are going to be taking a look at an Immortal Rahk clear that I was able to pull off yesterday using SSMI, and then we are going to go ahead and take a look at the SP dungeon, and in particular we're going to take a look at something that I have talked about quite a bit in the past, which is doing 99 battles on your SP dungeons overnight on auto to see exactly how much that will yield towards your exchange shop. So before we get into all that, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Helps me out a ton as a new YouTuber. So let's go ahead and look at this Immortal Rahk run. So basically with this, I am going to be doing a guide on Immortal Rahk over the weekend. I am trying to compile footage for that as we speak, obviously being that you can only do one clear day. I was only able to do this one yesterday, and I'm going to be working on trying to put together some more footage using other teams so that I can put together a bit of a guide for whether you are a player who is going to be a veteran with all of these characters maxed out, or more of an intermediate player who isn't going to have as many options before them in order to get through this, maybe such as, say, the Rachels of the world or the Boss Syndrome characters in particular. That way you can improve your scores and hopefully get as close to clearing this boss as possible, and that way you can get as many rubies as you can from this, with other things coming up around the corner such as possible collabs. That's definitely going to be something that a lot of people are going to want to maximize on. So I just wanted to go ahead and show you guys this run though, because this will obviously be using more of a premium team. However, with Immortal Rahk, he does tend to be pretty difficult. He's one of those immortals that's going to do not only a ton of damage, but he moves around quite a bit. In fact, his lariat, where he does the most damage at a time, sends him to the other side of the screen. So he does tend to move around quite a bit, and he has a lot of damage on him, especially on your second team. But once I do the guide for this, I will break all this down for you guys so that you have a better idea of how to handle him and how to get through this, because there's quite a few little details that go into this Immortal versus some of the other ones. You know, with things like Immortal Victor or even Immortal Vulcan, some of the Immortals, they tend to be kind of autopilot when it comes to the different setups, as well as kind of the way you approach them with strategy. But with Immortal Rahk, there's actually quite a bit that goes into it. For instance, and I'll give you guys a few little tips in this video before I do an actual guide breaking all this stuff down, but my recommendation, I can power through this based on the fact that I have SS and BS characters. However, for you guys, my recommendation would be to go into your settings and turn off your auto awakening so that you can manually auto rotate through your skills on your characters. For instance, on your second team, if you're using a second team that's going to involve such characters such as SS Athena, Orochi, or Nameless, which is a very good popular second team for this, my recommendation is to go to your settings, turn off auto awakening, because the actual auto awakening that the AI is going to use is very lackluster, and it is going to mess up your damage quite a bit. You're better off just controlling it manually, swapping between characters, and using the awakening rotations yourself. Because if you actually test it and take a look, you will see that when the AI does it, it barely spams its skills, so you miss out on not only a ton of damage, but a ton of your power charge, which is extremely important for stopping the clock. But another little detail that I want to throw in here is when you get to your second team, typically right around the moments that we're in now in the video as far as damage, the boss tends to start doing lariats more often, which cause a ton of damage on your characters. So something that you'll want to do is whenever you see him kind of do his animation where he throws his head in the air and puts his arms up, you will want to roll. If you do that, then you're going to avoid 90% of the damage that he's going to do with that lariat, and that's going to be the biggest issue you're going to have with the second team as far as longevity goes. And it tended to be the biggest issue for me until I started doing that myself, and then from there it became pretty easy to get through this. It just came down to timing more than anything, because when you're stuck in the middle of these finisher animations, a lot of times it's a little bit tough to tell what the boss is doing. So you'll have to be paying attention, and some of it comes down to RNG, but for the most part, it's just going to come down to making sure that you are following those rules. And if you do that, then you'll obviously have a much better time getting through this and doing damage on him. But like I said, I will be bringing you guys a full breakdown and a full guide on this, using not just teams such as this, but free-to-play teams as well, with some various recommendations, tips, and tricks in order to get through this boss run. Because again, this is a very difficult one. However, it is not impossible. It just requires you to have the correct characters, and in particular the correct stones and builds in order to get through this. So for those of you who are looking forward to that, I will have that out to you probably this Sunday after we do our Saturday chat and chill tomorrow. So look forward to that. But we're going to go ahead and move on to the bigger topic of today's video, because this has been a talking point here on the channel for a while that I've been recommending to you guys, and I figured I would show you firsthand kind of what this looks like. So what we are going to be doing is we are going to be showing you guys the results of doing 99 runs on the SP dungeon on auto overnight. So this is a strategy that I have recommended to you guys for many months now, and it's something that I've never actually shown you guys the results on, so I figured I would show you guys, because I've had a lot of people ask me how I get my runs taken care of and my grinding taken care of so quickly on these things. So I'm going to show you how. Basically, as you'll see here, I've already used my coins down to as minimal an amount as I possibly can. I was trying to get as close to zero as I could to show you guys kind of what you garner overnight, but this is where I was at as far as my tiers for my rewards on the score dungeon. So as you see here, we were at about 41,000 damage total. And what we did last night is we went ahead and we set it to auto for 99 runs, and my recommendation as always is to go through here and compile as many of these things onto your team as humanly possible. Like I said yesterday, most of you should have at this point Lady Chang, or at least one of either Lady Yashiro or Lady Billy, and then all these other things here. If you've been pulling on the SS card banner or the SS character banner, you should have some of those things. So you'll basically just want to put together as good a team as possible. Obviously, with the roulette going on currently for Lady Chang, you probably have her as well at this point. So just go in, and I'm going to go ahead and attach some of these cards to my Athena here so that I get as much as I possibly can from these runs tonight. And after we go ahead and set it to auto, we're just going to put it down on the charger, and we are just going to leave it overnight and come back to it in the morning and see where we end up as far as what we got for our exchange coins and for the actual mileage for our rewards. So hopefully in just 99 runs on this, we'll be able to go ahead and purchase everything that we need from the exchange shop, as well as get through all of our mileage on the score dungeon. And then that way, all we got to worry about from here forward is having enough to get the capsules daily, and so on and so forth. Especially those juicy souls for Lady Clone Zero, which are definitely coming in handy for those tokens in the exchange shop. So there you go. That is going to basically be the cards we need for the extra score, and then we'll go ahead and we will spend some AP pots. And if you take a look here, I believe it takes basically about 2,400 or so AP to go 99 runs on this. We'll double check here. So we've got about 2,000. That's 83 of them. So we'll need to do about, and we'll do another 400 or so, and that should be enough. I believe it's about 2,400 and a half. Let's take a look. Yep, 2,475. So that's going to be how much AP it costs. So let's go ahead, set this to auto, and put the phone down on the charger overnight, and we will come back in the morning and see how we ended up. All right, so here we are. It has been going all night, and let's see where we're at. So as we see here, we've got some rewards obtained. Now let's go through here, and if we got through all of these, it should end with our Yashiro ticket. Let's see. Yes, I called it a Yashiro ticket on purpose. Maybe we won't get Yashiro, but that tends to be the case. All right, so yeah, we definitely got our best ticket. So let's see, for our exchange shop coin, yeah, so we have about 36,000 exchange shop coin, which for those of you who remember back a few moments ago, we had about 500 or so coin. So we were able to get about 35,000 coin for doing this overnight, which is a very nice number. We can go ahead and purchase the Lady Clone. Let's go ahead and get her, because that way we have some more souls to exchange, and then we will get this last memory for her. Perfect. All right, so that basically should show you guys there, and obviously this is going to differ a little bit based on how many of these characters you can put together on a team in order to get as much coin from this as possible. But as you guys can see here, this is how people are able to do this so quickly. So if you ever ask people, how are you able to get through this so fast? Then the answer is probably that they were doing something like this. Now, obviously, you don't have to do this overnight, but I know that for a lot of people, they don't have the time to just have their phone sitting on auto for hours at a time doing this when they are up and moving around and doing other things. So it's one of those things where I find that the most opportune time is just doing it overnight. That way you're able to get through this. But let's go ahead and take a look here. We're going to expend some of these tickets here because we should have enough for, yeah, we have enough for card multi, another unified banner multi. I believe we have a 5 to 6 star card ticket in here as well. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do these, and then obviously we will end it off with a nice Yashiro summon. Hopefully it's not Yashiro, but the last dungeon that we did, we got Yashiro, and from what I heard reported in the comments, most people were getting Yashiro, which was really bizarre to me. So that's kind of become the running joke, is that this is just a Yashiro memory exchange ticket. But let's go ahead and do this multi. Hopefully we'll get lucky and get another fest. We've actually been doing really well lately with, oh wow, see? We've been doing really well with these lately on getting some fodder memories, which is good. Speaking of fodder memories, there's an Adelheid. Actually, that my Adelheid's already at A5, never mind. All right, yeah, so that's a fodder memory. That's okay. We take those. We take those. We're going to have so many fodder memories whenever there's another collab. It's not even funny. We'll be able to go ahead and pretty much instantly build up all those characters, whatever they end up being. So let's take a look here. We'll use this ticket, and then we'll use our fest ticket last. So hopefully you guys found this to be informative. I know a lot of people do ask this quite a bit with the SP dungeon. This actually happened yesterday on Discord. I saw somebody asking someone who had posted a photo of their exchange shop showing that they had bought pretty much everything, and they were asking how the heck they did it. Well, this is pretty much how most people are going to do it. You know, some people obviously will have maybe their PC at home running in the background on an emulator or something like that and just doing the work for them that way, whatever you want to do. But I just wanted to show you guys how many results you could get from this. And it looks like that's an Iori. Yep. So, all right, well, it's better than a Yashiro. So, we'll take it. But alright guys, so that's today's video. Hopefully you found it informative. If you did, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. And if it's a situation where you guys have additional questions on any of this stuff, make sure you leave them in the comment section. I never have a problem kind of hopping into the comments and answering you guys. I might be a little bit slow if I'm busy, but I'll get back to you guys, promise. Otherwise, you can always hit me up on Discord. Anyway, that's going to be the video. I'll talk to you guys in tomorrow's Chat and Chill. You all have a good one. Peace.
Continue. Game over.